Hello everyone, this is Introvert Shy Guy and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Okay, so where we left off, it turns out that I'm now going for the Lily route, and as you can see there's young Lily right there. I thought that was pretty cute that they now included it because you're on this route now, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We just basically, I took the walking to the park, which ended up in a cafe, or I was going to the cafe to begin with, I think, and then we went to the and then I met Lily and stuff. We talked for a bit, then met her at the festival, and then we hung around, and now I guess we're going for Lily this time. So alright, so today is March the 27th, and I guess we just continue forward. Okay. I awake to the annoying din of my alarm clock, its bright red numerals lighting up my face. It's the same alarm clock I had at home, one of the few remaining artifacts from my days before coming to Yamaku. I'd hoped that using it would help ease my transition into this new life. No such luck though. Groggily dragging myself out of bed, I wipe the sleep out of my eyes, then reach over to my desk. I open a couple of the bottles of medication strewn across it, and swallow a few pills dry. By now, the process is starting to become automatic, something I should be glad for, given their purpose. Feeling much more awake than before, I wander into the bathroom. While the shower warms up, my mind begins to wander as my new daily routine begins once again. Oh, I think we're gonna meet Kenji. The bright colors of the fireworks fill my mind, as do the two girls with whom I spent my time watching them. It feels strange to be moved so much by people I know so little about. Then again, I suppose these aren't normal circumstances. At least I have someone to talk to, now aside from my schoolmate next door. With the time left before school begins today waning, I begin to get ready for class. Oh, okay, we didn't get to meet Kenji. That's good. Walking through the door into the classroom, I notice that I'm still somewhat early. I see about 5 or 6 students milling around, most of them looking as if they'd rather be still in bed. It's at times like this that I appreciate being a morning person. That said, 2 students in particular seem just as perky as always. Hi Shizune, hi Misha. I suddenly realized that my greeting would be lost on the former, so I quickly follow it up with a wave. She doesn't seem overly bothered. Or interested for that matter. Hello Hee-chan, are you feeling well? I can only assume her greeting comes from Shizune, I mean. It's hard to tell if she's speaking as herself or Shizune sometimes. Better than most everyone else, I guess. You two seem bright and chipper. Misha signs this back to Shizune as I say it, eliciting a somewhat terse answer, if her sharp and rapid arm movements are any indication. Considering that these two made such a big deal out of the festival preparations, I probably should have chosen my words more carefully. Since you're a new student, we've been cutting you some slack. Please don't expect this kind of task dodging to be allowed in the future. Misha looks as if she's about to add her own comment, but quickly goes back to interpreting as Shizune continues unabated. While your contribution to Class 3-2's stall is appreciated, words sure got around quickly. That or these two have their fingers on the pulse of the school. We would prefer your efforts to be focused on the task at hand, namely your own class. As much as I hate to admit it, they do have a point. Before I can respond though, Shizune adds something more which draws a smile from Misha. Did you enjoy the festival then? Lecture over, I guess. Yeah, it was good. Did you two enjoy it? Shizune gives a short nod as Misha grins and bounces her head up and down. The contrast side by side is amusing. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice more students starting to trickle into the classroom. A quick glance at my watch confirms that they're a few minutes late. I look over to Hanako's seat and realize that she's already there and contentedly reading a book. It makes me wonder just how long she's been there without me noticing. With heavy footsteps coming up the hallway signaling Mutao's arrival, our idle talking comes to an end, and I take my seat next to Misha. As the door slides open, he strides through with a ponderous gait, I would assume. His posture is even worse than usual, and his eyes are barely staying open. I guess my quip to Lily and Hanako about the staff was misplaced. Everyone opens their books as he reaches his desk, and the first class of the new week begins. I rub my eyes as the lunch bell rings out, glad for the temporary reprieve from work. I'm entirely unsurprised when I look over to the door and see Lily standing there, cane in hand, patiently waiting for Hanako. Considering her acceptance of my request to join them yesterday, I decide to spend my lunchtime with them rather than eat alone. Hanako moves surprisingly fast to meet her companion, and the two enter the hallway before I can catch up. Lily's head turns slightly, registering the sound of footsteps behind her. As Hanako notices and follows her head, she almost jumps in surprise. Hisayo? Hello, Hisayo. Hi, sorry if I startled you. Lily turns to greet me, helped in her orientation by Hanako. Good afternoon, Hisayo. Are you joining us? If it's no trouble, there is not much else to do, really. Lily gives a small nod as if to silently brush away any idea that it would be troubling in the least. We descend one set of stairs and walk down the hallway to the usual room. Our pace somewhat quicker than usual, thanks to Lily using Hanako for direction, rather than her cane in the railings. As expected, it's deserted. The sounds of the other clubs can only barely be heard as sunlight streams into the room from outside. Looking around the room, I notice a couple of empty easels propped up against the wall that I don't think were there before. The art club must use this room as extra storage. Should I get the chess set out? Hanako's voice seems less tense when she's directly addressing Lily. Oh, are we gonna play chess? I love playing chess. I didn't really play chess that much, but I do know how to play it, and it's actually really fun, when you get to play it with someone, Yes, I'll make tea while you sort the pieces. I could do that for you if you'd like. She ponders the offer for a moment before smiling, confirming that I've made the right choice. Her face is remarkably easy to read. Very well, thank you. She slides her retracted cane into the handle of her bag and sets it against one of the table legs before taking a seat opposite Hanako. As I prepare tea for the three of us, I can hear the small wooden pieces being set on the board. I wonder how good Lily is at chess given her circumstances. Oh yeah, she probably has to feel around the chess pieces or something. I don't know, something like that. By the time I place the steaming teacups onto the table, Lily and Hanako have already moved their first pieces as they nibble on sandwiches and rice balls from their respective bags. I note that the chessboard they're using has holes in the middle of each square and pegs on the bottom of the pieces, and has each dark square slightly raised. Watching Lily's fingers skating over the board tracing out the positions of the pieces make me marvel a little at the simple ingenuity of the design. It must be specifically made for blind players. Here you go. Hanako gives a small nod as I put down the cup next to her side of the board. Lily's hand ventures sideways slightly, so I gently place the cup touching the tips of her fingers, a gesture she seems to appreciate. I finally take a seat and silently sip my tea as the two play. The contrast in their appearances while playing is interesting to watch. Hanako looks closely at the board, her face one of focused concentration. Lily, on the other hand, keeps her head level and maintains her calm neutrality. Lily's gentle voice addresses both of us as she continues to play. How is class now that the festival's over? I look to Hanako to see whether she'll answer first, but see that she's doing the same. Not great. Half the class seemed to be dozing off, even including the teacher, not to mention the test on top of all that. Hanako quietly adds her own agreement with this. I could imagine that being a bit difficult for you, being a transfer student. Well, I think I did fine. Other than the shock of a test coming so early, science is probably my best subject. Yeah, I can see why, you know. The science is a very, interesting subject and stuff. I mean, at least for me. I know that for some of you, maybe it could be history and stuff. But I don't know. I could see, I can see why it was science. That's why. Me being a potential scientist and stuff, you know. How'd you do, Hanako? Me? Okay, I guess. Hanako is too sincere to be able to pull off flying very well. That much is obvious. Lily's smile slips very slightly. From her reaction, Hanako mustn't be skilled enough at academics to do very well without preparation. How did your class handle it, Lily? It went surprisingly well, actually. Only one student was absent, which was better than what the teacher expected. With the topic all but run dry, the two concentrate on their chess game once again. I can't say I've ever liked the idea of chess as a spectator sport, but given its unique nature, for once I'm wrapped in watching the game unfold. As time wears on, both of them demonstrate a decent skill at playing the game. Having captured 2 more pawns than Hanako, Lily has the upper hand, but only slightly. Until Hanako makes a strange move with her queen. Seizing upon this lapse in judgment, Lily takes the piece with her knight. Without hesitation, Hanako moves a pawn to take Lily's rook on the opposite side of the board and promotes it to queen. Lily's face falters as her fingers move over the pieces and she realizes that she just fell to Hanako's trap. It's a little distracting to have the board traced out after each move, even if it's out of necessity. Judging by Hanako's lack of reaction, she must be used to this. She and Lily must have played at least a few games of chess against each other after all. Check. That's not bad at all. Nice, Hanako. The compliment causes her to flower into a surprised blush. Thank you. I didn't think it would work. I look over to Lily, her fingers having just finished tracing out the position of her remaining pieces in an attempt to extricate her king from this bind. I think this is checkmate. I take another look at the board to confirm. Sure enough, her king has nowhere to escape without being threatened by another piece. My earlier question was as to which of them is better at this has just been answered. So it is. Lily gives a small sigh as Hanako smiles. From their reactions, this seems like a fairly usual result. How long have you two been playing? Since I was young. Oh wow. Lily nods at Hanako's brief answer. Hanako taught me to play soon after I met her. I can beat her every now and then, but that's a rarity. I don't seem to have the right mindset for it. If Lily came to Yamaku at the start of high school and met Hanako when she moved to the dorms, that'd mean she's only been playing for about 1 year. After seeing Hanako's level of play, I'm not too surprised Lily has trouble beating her. But she's better at languages than I am, so... Lily gives an appreciative, if slightly amused smile at Hanako's quick reversal of her compliment. Well, that's how it is. Much to everyone's surprise, the bell suddenly rings, heralding an end to the lunch break. That game lasted longer than I thought it did. Same, I guess we'd better get back to class. Hanako's already in the middle of packing up, so I take Lily's bag and offer it to her. To my surprise, she takes it and nods, but then places it back down on the table. Hisayo, may I make a request? Sure, go ahead. Would you mind if I were to quickly feel your face? Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, no, go ahead, I don't mind. The question takes me severely off guard, but once I regain my composure, it seems sensible enough. So far, Lily has no idea what I actually look like, and this would be her only way to find out. Lily raises her hand, which I take in mine and guide to my face before letting go. The room is entirely silent as Lily's hand moves over and around my features, from my chin to my cheeks to everywhere else. I expected this to feel a lot more disquieting than it does, I suppose. That's because the action is entirely a matter of practicality, being functionally no different to simply looking at someone's face. Her hand is soft, but what takes me by surprise is the length of her fingers, not to mention how sure even the slightest of her movements are. I have no doubt that her level of tactical feeling would be far beyond mine. Her hand briefly runs once through my hair before retreating. I'm sure that every inch of my face has been committed to her memory. It's only now, too, that I realize Hanako has been silently watching the entire time. Thank you for letting me do that, Hisayo. Oh, that was so nice. That's kind of first base, honestly. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it. When I mean by first base, I don't mean like kind of similar to kissing, but I guess kind of close to being affectionate to someone. I would say, you know. And if I might add, I think you are quite handsome. I blush a little at her remark before raising a questioning eyebrow. But if you can't see how... Just because I can't see, that doesn't mean I don't have my own preferences. We better go now. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess we'll see you later then, Lily. Walking through the hallway back to our classrooms, I noticed that Hanako seems quieter than before, but also more comfortable. Honestly, he should have said thank you to her, you know. I know it was kind of an awkward moment, but you know, so maybe he did. I just didn't caught it, but I just don't remember after the handsome part, you know. Lily, her hand on Hanako's shoulder, seems to pick up on her assured pace as well, smiling as they walk. If I could spend the rest of my time at Yamuku like this, I don't think it'd be so bad. All that's needed for joy are small exchanges of happiness after all. As I reach my desk and set my bag beside it, I realize something, or rather my stomach does. I was so busy with those two, I forgot to buy lunch. Oh, so I guess that's the next day then. And he's hungry too. Or wait, if it's it's the next day, so that whole thing was kind of, you know. Saturday, my second most favorite day of the week. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's Friday, of course. This is almost entirely due to the fact that it is the day with the second least amount of school, with class ending at the beginning of lunch. Oh yeah, I forgot. In Japan, you actually have school days on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I know that from playing the Persona games. Is it true though? In Japan, you only have one day off, which is a Sunday, and you have school on a Saturday? I think so, because I mean, I've been playing Persona and stuff, and I was surprised that you basically have school on Saturday and no school on a Sunday. So I was like, oh wow, you know, you only have one day off, unlike say in America and everywhere else in the West, you have 2 days off. I don't know, it's just kind of fascinating. I opened my door confidently, myself being more than confident of being able to get enjoyment out of the fine weather and shorter class length. I confidently stride down the hallway and down the stairs to the lobby of the male dorms. I confidently look behind me to see whose footsteps are approaching. I lose my confidence in this day being enjoyable. Wait, Kenji? Of course. Hey man, sup? Not much, I guess. Just looking forward to the afternoon. You? He wraps an arm around my slumped shoulders far too comfortably. Something's up. Let's step outside, shall we? Oh, what is this? I was just about to before you stopped me. He doesn't take my reaction to his theatrics well. Ignoring him, I walk outside and start down the steps. I don't remember this. Was this like all painted and stuff? I mean, that basically means that obviously Rin, I mean, has like finished painting stuff. I mean, of course it was for the festival, so yeah, that makes sense. Just great continuity, I might add. I walk outside and start down the steps. It doesn't take too long for him to catch up with me again. I wonder if he wants money or to rant about another conspiracy, maybe both. I've got a bone to pick with you. Oh, what is it? Uh-huh. It's about that blonde. You know who I'm talking about. Oh, conspiracy it is. For a moment I contemplate feigning ignorance, but realize this will go quicker if I just let him get it all out. Lily, the one from your class? You're on first names terms with her. He looks positively shocked at this development. Did he not expect me to be able to answer? He gathers himself and coughs into his fists, dramatically like everything he does. Well, never mind that. I'm here to warn you. You know, man to man. Warn me about what, Lily? Yeah, you don't know her, man. It's mostly true. I've only known her in Hanako for less than 2 weeks. And even then, we've just been exchanging banal chatter about school as we while away lunch. I'm pretty sure you don't either. That's not the point. You're the one spending inordinate amounts of time with her. It distresses me that someone like Kenji, who's probably as far out of a loop as one could possibly get, knows about such a trivial fact as who I choose to befriend. Then again, I am a transfer student, and she's not only the representative of their class, but also a tall blonde. Maybe I should appreciate this ranting as a warning that the rumor mill exists in this school, and that I'm firmly within it. It's just lunch, nothing special. Look, man, under the bridge, see this bridge? You're under it. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do to get intel. I just want to make sure you don't end up too far under the bridge. You're losing me, Kenji. That's okay, lots of people get lost. That's why I'm here to help. Just be careful around her, okay? She looks all harmless on the outside, but I've heard shit. Bad shit. Oh, like what? You know, the student council, right? He seems to involuntarily shudder as he says the words. Putting him and Shizune together in a room is an amusing mental exercise. I wonder if they've met. Yeah, Shizune and Misha are in my class. I seem to have dodged the draft, though. Good man, good man. It's good man, good man. But this blonde, she was there in the student council right down there. I see, and she's not there now. Seriously, think about it. Something must have gone down. I stopped walking for a moment, giving the idea more thought than I probably should. It would explain that fight the two had, at least in part. Wait, no, not really. Even leaving the student council would need a catalyst. In the end, it doesn't explain much at all, other than the fact that their feud goes back some ways. I guess you have a point. I'm not seeing how that really affects me, though. Okay, now field this one. Lily's foreign, obviously. Obviously. Now, what nationality is she? I open my mouth to give the answer, but realize I have none. In fact, I've given the matter very little thought. He could just say that she's Western or something. I don't know. Given that she has no accent and acts perfectly Japanese, I suppose it never really seemed important. Now that he mentions it, though, I am rather curious. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe English? They like tea. Of course, go with stereotypes. I probably shouldn't resort to there you go. This game gets it. Shouldn't resort to stereotypes, but that's the only lead I have. You're not thinking. Luckily, you have me here to think for you. Gee, thanks. He brushes off the quip effortlessly. Now answer me this. Who has lots of social power? Is filthy, stinking rich? You know, blondes are all rich, right? Has a long history of disputes and used to belong to a much larger organization. The Roman Catholic Church? Well, okay, there's that. But there's also the Mafia. Come on, rich foreign. There's no way she doesn't have connections to them. I have reason to doubt the logic of his deductions, but he shows no sign of stopping. So, did you know where I think she's from? Is she Italian? Because, you know, Mafia and stuff? Italy? Ha! Mainland Italy, small time, dude. She has to be from Sicily. All those mafioso types come from there. Okay, there you go. I got it right. She's Italian. Which is quite strange, though, because I don't think there are any blondes in Italy. I mean, I know there are obviously, like, blondes, like, everywhere and stuff, but it's like Italians tend to be Mediterranean and stuff. They obviously have, like, black or dark hair, you know? I mean, like, they kind of almost look like me in a way. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Blue-eyed and... Well, I mean, blue eyes, you can get it from anywhere. My uncle has blue eyes, by the way. Not really blue, but more like turquoise, I would say. But yeah, none of my family are like blonde or anything, so I find it hard to believe an Italian can be blonde. But leave it in the comments if you're Italian and you're like ethnically blonde and stuff. I mean, obviously ancestry plays a huge role, like maybe like way far back is like northern genetics and they all moved to Italy and stuff, that kind of thing. I know I'm kind of rambling, I apologize, but that's what I'm thinking. Mafioso types come from there. Wait, no, Russia, damn, this could be bad. The mafia there is serious business, man. Ex-KGB everywhere, parliamentarians, hardcore smuggling, and oh, okay, now he's going to Russia, so... Wait, stop, just slow down a sec. What point are you trying to get at here? You don't know what she'll do, man. I won't get in your way. Agents don't operate like that, but I just want you to be careful. When the time comes, we'll need all the help we can get. I don't want to lose you, comrade. Oh my, I'm starting to think that Italian subject was just a huge, like, farce from him. And I kind of went on that ramble for nothing. So, I mean, I apologize, but still mention it in the comments. See if any of you guys are Mediterranean but have blonde hair, you know? I'm just curious, so... Well, at least he's concerned for me, kinda. I wave goodbye to him as we separate out to our respective classes, but I'm not sure that he sees the gesture.